Hey YouTube, it's JP Dillon. Here's something you don't see every day. This is a early to mid 60s Heathkit AM radio. I believe it's like an IG-18 or something. No, it's a GR-10. I picked this up at an estate sale. It was super cheap and nobody else seemed interested in it, so I figured, well, I don't have a Heathkit yet. But I plugged it in and it had no signs of life there at the estate sale. It's not to say that their power was sufficient or not, because it was during the day and no lights were on. But anyway, we're going to get into it and we're going to see if this thing runs and if it needs anything. But first thing I notice is that there are some screws missing for the front panel. And looks like it's just two screws to get the cover off. One thing about this is it's super heavy. So I wonder if there's actually a transformer inside of here. It's not a series string set. But yeah, let's open it up. Alright, I have the two screws removed. Let's give a push on the chassis here. Yep, looks like it's going to come out the front. So let me lay it on its face. Fuzzy. You gotta let go. Alright. So gonna need two hands here. Give me a second. Had to get the cord free of the case, but yeah, man, this thing has a power transformer. And a fuzzy green capacitor, which is probably we're going to end up replacing. But yeah, look at that cool little chassis layout there. I guess the screws on the front panel just help hold it to the speaker. There's some posts missing here, but I'm sure I can make something work if I need to. But they've got the series string tubes, so I guess they run the tube filaments directly off the AC line, but the B voltage is run through that transformer there, probably for safety reasons. I mean, they probably didn't want people building kits that just were building kits to electrocute themselves on a hot chassis. Makes sense. So this is a safety device more than anything. Okay, and you've got your corded drive tuner assembly there. You've got two decent looking IF transformers. I'm hoping these don't have silver mica. You've got what looks like a neon bulb there for your power indicator. Just pushing on the speaker, doesn't rub or anything, so that's good. Cool. Let's do a quick check and make sure that our filters aren't shorted. We could stick it on a dim bulb tester and just whack it and see if it comes back to life. Okay, so we have our meter clipped to chassis, and we're just going to touch off on our electrolytics here and make sure they're not shorted. Yeah, they're charging. Not shorted, which is good. And we've only got two of them in here. Looks like a dual section 50, so that's easy peasy. But yeah, no signs of a short on the second 50 and the first 50. Looks good. So I think we'll just juice it. No dim bulb necessary, and we'll see what happens. I mean, really the only sad thing about this is all the little plastic standoffs holding the front panel onto the chassis. We can see about doing something about that. But I guess let's see if it runs. We're going to turn it on and see if things light up. I do hear a hum of a transformer. 50C5's lighting up. Got our little neon there. Bad filters. Huh, but it does receive.
School group about diversifying and
I was picking up a lot of stations. They're just all far away.
Only about 70,000.
and this way to 1 in 5.
1 in 5 men.
Ask him that, and that's how he's allowed.
Yeah, it's a pretty hot little set.
With these to a precise, they can get a quote in seconds.
Huh. Would never have figured. Alright. Cool. So obviously we need to put some filters in there. And then this thing will be happy. So let's put some capacitors in it and see what it does then. So I think for the sake of sheer simplicity, we're just going to take this whole thing out here. There's the bracket where it mounts. And we'll just put a terminal strip there and our two new 47 microfarad capacitors in its place. That should be easy peasy. Looks like it's just going to use a screw and a 1/4 inch nut driver to get it out. Yeah, easy peasy. I'll just need 2 hands to pop the screw back down once I get the terminal strip in. And then we'll just attach the wires, or we could attach the grounds to the center post and eliminate that, or we could leave it as is. It really doesn't matter. Just to get it out of our way, we're going to go ahead and cut this free. One of those, what is that, General Instruments, GI. Typical dried out cardboard capacitor. Now we got to fish that screw back in there. So, hemostats to the rescue here. We got to feed it way back in here. And see if we can finagle it down into its hole. That, and then I'm going to need to use hands because the screwdriver's got to hold it there while I put the nut and lock washers back on. Alright, so we got the 5-lug mounted in there. We're obviously going to run some new wires since that's all going to be a little bit short, but I may reorient this 5-lug. I'm not quite sure yet. I think I will, though. Just tilt it maybe about 45 degrees. Just for a little bit more room. We'll see how that looks. Yeah, I can't really do that because then I run into clearance issues with this getting too close to that terminal there on either side of it. So we'll just leave it where it is and get everything wired up. Alright, well there it is, all set up in there. Got my grounds wired in and all. See, I'm a little bit weird. I pass them through the rivets there that are attached to the lugs and then attach the wires to the lugs. I think it's a little bit neater, but that's just me. So now all we're going to do is pull some new wire and hook everything up, and then we'll test it and see how quiet it is. Alright, there she is, all wired up. We've got our first lead going back to the high side of our dropper and the other capacitor going to the low side. So in theory this thing should power up and be a lot quieter. Alright, let's see how it behaves now. Yep, we are lighting up. Yep, no more hum.
My self-righteous. Crystals by 99%. Get Kidney Comp today at Amazon.
Let's turn all these noisy LED switching lamps off and see if we get a little bit lower noise floor here. Okay, no more lights.
But are you using the right color?
Let's start at the bottom here. A lot less noise.
Ponzi scheme.
As he faces.
Got a lot of DX skipping going on.
Farmers and ranchers to deliver 100% American North America.
Pretty selective.
Cows and beef. Over summer and even later.
In the world, no one comes close.
Working professional.
Our emissions and efficiency news.
I say today that with any nap longer than 30 minutes for the best record.
Holy, you're the winner.
Yeah, we're going to see lots of moths flying around.
That was my wife's phone number.
That many would not appreciate.
Trump and we'll say
Yeah, so it's pretty sensitive. But, yeah.
For a thing, I think this has been fascinating.
Time.
It'll pick up the weak next to the strong, so selectivity's pretty good. But, let me kick the lights back on again. And things get a lot noisier, but that's just the switching mode that we live in. So yeah, this thing's pretty cool. This thing works great. I'm not even going to bother with an alignment. I think it's working pretty sweet. I am going to see if I can figure out something to hold the faceplate on a little bit better. I'm not sure if there's a whole lot I can do, but we'll see. And then I'll pop it back together and probably just put it on the shelf and enjoy it once in a while. So here's what I did for the bottom support. I heated up some thick lead, melted it into the plastic, let it cool, and then I bent over here and soldered to that lead, so it prevents it from coming in or out. It's not going to take a ton of stress, but it'll keep the faceplate in place at least. And I gotta see what I'm going to do for the top side. Okay, for the top side, I pushed 2 leads down into the plastic, bent them over to hold the speaker, and then added some solder as reinforcement. It's not actually soldered to the speaker, this is just to stiffen it up a bit. That way I can wiggle that and it doesn't want to come loose. And then the rest of it's just going to be finding some small machine screws for the speaker, and that's going to be pretty easy. I'm not worried about that. I do need to clean this up a little bit. It's kind of gunky. I mean, the inside looks pretty, but the faceplate is ugh. But yeah, let's pull all this off and see if we can't make it a little bit nicer to look at. Yeah, the plastic's definitely. So there we go. That cleaned up real nice. I cleaned up the case too. I think I'm going to leave the screws out because I found that when I try to put screws in to fasten the speaker, I think the speaker might be a little tweaked because it started to pinch the voice coil, so I just left them out. Probably that's what the last person that ran it found as frustration as well. But you can see the dial is all cleaned up, face is all cleaned up. It's the epitome of industrial. It's just so simple, and it's beige and white. I mean, and it turned out decent. I mean, it's a good performer. It just
Season football and
picks up
ready for
everything.
Labor Day. It's been a great summer so far, and we've been with you.
Okay. A lot coming up.
I mean, it's pretty sensitive, so, and I'm going to pop for music, but anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. More stuff to come.